time, that was given to us for this session, but I think you all agree with me. It's well worth it. Buiselo, I want to take you with me. We need you guys in our marches in Kampala, all that energy. And most importantly, thank you for teaching us to inspire activism among men to reject social norms that accept violence against women, and especially hold men accountable, men in leadership, accountable for their action and for their words. And also for telling us about the benefits-based approach. I mean, we don't just engage with men without saying what's in it for them, or what's in it for women, and what's in it for all of us. And most importantly, let us all walk the talk. So, our next presenter is Leo. He's the director of Padare. By that you know that I have not written his second name, but he'll forgive me. I'm really sorry, Leo. He's the director of Padare in Zimbabwe. He's a gender activist. He's experienced in mobilizing men and boys in tertiary institutions in Zimbabwe who are not afraid of equality. Profiling Padare's gender work with men and boys. You're welcome.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. I must say I feel very energized after the previous speakers, and I feel like going onto the street and doing a bit of toy. If there are comrades that can say, Omanza, let's go. Omanza. Okay, I'm going to present on behalf of Padare, which is a men's organization working in Zimbabwe, and we are my title of the presentation is Cultivating Men Equality. This comes from the notion within Padare that all men that are afraid of equality, and also by everyone within our society. Okay, so I'll give you a brief about Padare and who we are as an organization. We started in 1995, and we are an anti-sexist men's platform which is advocating for gender justice in Zimbabwe. So Padare took its name from the Dari, or Enguzeni, which was a traditional gathering place for community men to discuss community issues, and this institution was exclusive of women. So Padare took this platform because it's familiar to men and converted it into a platform where men can still gather in communities and discuss ways that men can participate in promoting women's rights and the emancipation of women within their communities. Padare, at the heart of the work that we do is the concept of redefining masculinity. So we are always interrogating what it really means to be men. How patriarchy has socialized us to be men. Is that really what manhood is all about? We explore other ways of expressing our manhood, and we are in the business of encouraging men to move from domineering and violent forms of masculinity to more egalitarian and nurturing forms of masculinity using a human rights framework. Padare is a national organization with interventions in 10 provinces of Zimbabwe and 65 men's networks. So a network comprises of 50 men, so this shows about the membership that we have in rural and urban areas. 5 of our networks, we call them our practical intervention networks. These provide men the platform to be involved in care work. And these men are providing community home-based care services to over 400 clients annually on a voluntary basis. So Padare's programs are highly interactive, are community-driven through chapters which are community structures formed to mobilize men and conduct outreach work on gender masculinities, positive fatherhood, palliative care, community home-based care, school and tertiary institution-based activities. Across all our interventions, Padare emphasizes equal dignity for men and women, equal access and control of strategic resources at household level and also at national level. Because a man who washes dishes and cooks in the home, but he has the house, the title deed for the house in the man's name, or the car, registered in his name, to us is not doing enough to show that he is a gender-sensitive man. So we want to go beyond just doing ordinary things to the strategic and more, focused kind of things. Padari collaborates with the women's movement in Zimbabwe, key government ministries, non-governmental organizations, faith-based organizations, and community-based organizations. So ladies and gentlemen, we are not doing this work in a neutral space. This space is characterized by a dollarized economy with multiple currencies. The rand, the US dollar, and the pula, which are being used by, by several people within the country, and which are inaccessible to most men. And this has a lot to do with how men, play out their manhood, and how men eventually become violent within their communities. There is high level of political polarization. There are high levels of poverty among the general population, high levels of male violence against women. This doesn't come as a surprise because of all these challenges that that are being faced by men within Zimbabwe. And this is not to make an excuse, but to show the kind of context within which we are doing the work that we are doing. We have a national gender policy which was crafted in 1999, which has been overtaken by events, and which was never implemented fully. We also have a very high prevalence of HIV, which is about 15.6%, high unemployment rate estimated to be over 80%. A significant proportion of the country is classified as requiring humanitarian assistance and food insecure communities. We have a polarized media space where issues of human rights are seen to be anti-state. So you find couching our work within a human rights kind of framework is also problematic in terms of how we are perceived as an organization within the country. We have a resilient population that has become creative in seeking livelihood options despite the economic challenges. So in the picture is a group of men that form a chapter which is one of our major mobilizing tools. So how do we engage men, or how do we mobilize men to be involved in gender work? Our work is subdivided into three significant thematic areas. The first one being that of entry into the community. So we consult, we take about 2 to 3 months consulting with the local authorities, local government, the chiefs, the traditional leaders, and the people that move that particular area. And then we form a committee. After that, there's the chapter formation. This is now a platform where sensitized men that are trained in gender, reach out to other men and mobilize them to be part of this movement. So each community, in order to allow ownership, then chooses a theme or a vision towards gender justice that they would want, to attain within a particular, a space of time. And then they design activities that are supported by Padari Secretariat to then do those activities. So in schools, boys will then start Padari Boys Clubs. But in communities, we have chapters which are groups of more than 50 men that meet to discuss on a monthly basis. So we believe that this work which is transformative is not activity-based, but requires continuous follow-up, it requires continuous support, and it requires a culture change within the various areas that these men are working in. So we have follow-up activities that are hinged on supporting community-driven capacity needs, as well as strengthening grassroots activism initiated by community men and boys. So for example, advocacy skills training, facilitation skills, and others. Of great importance that each community will develop a commitment charter which is in line with the vision for a gender-just society that they want to see in their particular community. So we are very contextual, and we allow the people from a particular community to bring out exactly what they want to see, and we guide them in that respect. So they do a commitment charter which is signed by community members and also put in a public, in a public place where everyone in the community can actually see it. So that's our